Hello everyone. Happy New Year. Happy 2022. How are you doing? How are you doing? So today I'm gonna do a client spotlight series with my gorgeous client Daisy. She's a high priestess, an astrologist, a business maven. She's incredible. Hi! Let me know when you jump on, from where you are tuning in, if it's the first time you catch me live. How is your Happy New Year? How is your start of the year? What are you co-creating with the universe? Hi, Stephanie. Hello, hello. And if you have any questions, feel free to pop them, even if you are on the replay. Hi, Daisy. So you can ask Daisy. Okay, we request. Let me see if we can do it. Instagram. Ah, here she is. The
Hi.
queen is in the house.
Touche. Thank you so much for having me.
How are you?
Good, yeah. Feeling very green today.
Yes, you are very
And this
summery. I'm like, we are here in winter and you feel like Mexico vibes. Where are you now?
I know, I'm actually in New York, and it's freezing outside, but we're in an apartment that's on the top and the sun is shining. So that's something I love about New York because it's like even if it's cold, sometimes the sun is still coming out and yeah, it's like warming up the whole apartment. So
Wow.
making the most of it.
And you are all green nails at
I
top.
know. Hot chakra vibes.
I'm all red, like Christmas, New Year.
Yay.
So, thank you so much for being here. I know we had a little bit of a change of a time because with holidays we forgot to send a calendar invitation. But for the people, I guess there are a lot of people in your audience here, but for the people who doesn't know you, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah. So hi everybody who doesn't know me, and yeah, again, thank you so much, Elisa, for having me. I love you so much. So my name is Daisy, and I run Flowers for Days. And I always try to find like the best way to put into words what I do. I essentially help to, I believe, just re-empower people to find their divine purpose again. And really, when I use the word re-empowerment, it's like helping people to reclaim their sovereignty and their empowered relationship to the universe and their gifts, and to monetize that in a really beautiful, healthy way. And I utilize tools such as astrology and hypnosis and universal energetic work to facilitate that. So yeah.
That's wonderful. And we are all into human design. What's your human design? Oh, she's stuck. Daisy, we lost you. Let me see if she can join again. Daisy. Daisy, where are you? Oh, she's gone. Okay, let me see if she can come back. Connection problem. Yes, let's place some bets on this human design. What do you think she is? What is her profile, her authority? This is gonna be fun. Let me see if the woman is able to join again. Ah, here she is. Instagram, we are too
Oh,
powerful. Ah,
sorry.
I was saying
Oh my gosh.
Instagram is shutting us down because we are too powerful. It's like, no, too much.
I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. And then I was like back here watching you and I was trying to get back in and I was like, no.
No problem.
So I saw you asked for what my human design is.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So my human design, I'm a generator and I'm a 2/6 and I'm a sacral authority. Yeah, sacral rule, but like emotional authority. So
Mm-hmm.
that's me. Yeah. And I'm a Virgo, of course. Moon in Aquarius, rising Sag, Venus and Mars in Cancer. That's me.
Yeah, so Gracie, like, she blew me away with her astrology knowledge. Like, I'm not so good with astrology. I'm passionate about it, but she's like, she knows everything, and she describes it in a way that is so powerful and unique, because she's a 6'2", not 2'6". And then the lines
Yeah.
the line 6 is, she's super wise. The line 6 is here to be this guide, this wise soul that brings through her unique view and perspective, and she does it so beautifully, really merging all these tools in a way that is very special.
Thank you. Yeah, I got that confused because I'm also not that familiar with human design. So, apart from the fact that I'm a generator, so it's helped me a lot, and you've helped me a lot, of course, as well with that. Yeah.
Role model vibes, exactly. So,
Do you feel, Elisa, like I'm a generator?
yes.
Am I
But
like a normal generator?
I'm so like, this question is so funny because like, when people discover like they are a generator, they're like, I'm just a generator. Everyone is a generator.
I mean, I
And then
love being a generator.
and then when people are like, oh my god, I'm a projector, I don't know, it's like we all are special in our design. Like, I feel you have this bubbly, sparkly energy to you that is very, generator, very magnetic, very alluring, but also very grounded. And your line 6, I feel you are really embodying that, because even if you are, super young, respect the old Lisa, you bring forth so much, wisdom.
Thank you. Yeah, I always had a hard time being a child, so
So
yeah.
tell
And
us,
it's funny.
go on.
No, you go, you go.
No, go.
No, I was just gonna say, it's just I love how we all have these different tools that we use. But, when you talk to me through the lens of human design, I'm always in my mind like linking it back to my astrological chart. So I was just gonna say it's funny how, yeah, it's like it's different tools, but speaking the same language at the
Yes,
end of the day.
totally.
Yeah.
And as you know, human design is based on astrology, so they are very, very connected. And as you said, those are tools. Like, yes, I'm a Taurus, I have my moon, my sun in Taurus, and of course I see myself like that. But it also makes so much sense with me being a manifesting generator, with all this energy and passion, so they all speaks the same, transmission at the end.
Yeah,
So
beautiful.
tell us a little bit about where you were when you joined my mastermind. Like last time, when it was in July, we started, and it was called Women of Wealth, but now we changed it to Opulence Mastermind. But it's always, the same format and container. So tell us a little bit more where you were and what, pull you to the container.
Yeah, nice. I also love being in this position because usually I'm the one interviewing my clients. So I'm like, I love being also, yeah, on the other end of being able to share what it's like being in these high level containers and offerings and how transformational they are. Um, so I find that already for me, just making that investment and bringing myself into a space, just the pure intention behind it already sees so many shifts in my business and my life. And where I was at when I first joined your mastermind, I was coming out of actually a burnout because I just had like the biggest launch that I'd done in my business monetarily. And it's funny because I wouldn't call that like the most abundant launch that I did, because abundance for me is like embodied wealth, and it's like balance in all areas. Abundance is not just money. So even though that launch was like over 100K, that, my nervous system was not expanded to hold that. So I ended up having a burnout, right? And that's why, as you teach, Elisa, it's so important that we don't just like go for these massive goals, but we, slowly get our nervous system and our body to a place where we're really ready to hold that. So when I joined you and I started working with you, I was really called to work with you because my previous coach, who gave me a lot but was very masculine, and I wanted to work with you to really give so much permission to my feminine in business, and to really, I had so many strong foundations set up in my business, but I just wanted to really now hone in on what I love, which is like the energetic elements and the emotional elements. And yeah, that's why, I wanted to work with you. And also, I mean, you, for me, are just such a big permission slip to be my fucking self. Like you're someone that my mind goes to anytime I'm hesitating to say something online. I think Elisa would just say fuck it, and then I'm like fuck it, and it, like, really, like, you gave me that activation. I think when we work with different people, they activate us in different ways, and working with you personally, that was like a wealth code that you gave me, which is really awesome. And that's like a massive reason, again, why I wanted to work with you, and that continued to evolve during our time together. And yeah, I think just generally speaking, many people who have invested in themselves know how activating, firstly, just making the investment itself is. Like, it's very activating. It just shifts the world around you very quickly, because you're like upping your vibrational frequency with that investment, and then taking yourself into an intentional container where you're with other people who have that shared intention is just really, really important as well.
Yes, 100%. Like me personally, I love one-on-one mentoring for myself, but I'm always also in a mastermind because, I feel how important it is to be
Yeah.
surrounded by women in the same frequency. And, sometimes maybe the single one-on-one coach doesn't see the thing that the group can, reflect it back as a collective, and the energy that a group of, sister can hold together. I think they are
Yeah.
both such a beautiful expanded way to, be, especially being like us, an entrepreneur with all of our spiritual gifts and all of our different interests. That is not very normal to have those type of conversations with the normal friends.
Yeah, totally. It's, I mean, one of my bestest friends, like soul sisters, I met in a mastermind, and then we did yours together, Juliet, and it's really special when you connect with people who are walking the similar path as you, because not only do you have that element of friendship and maybe you value other things in life but together, but you're doing something similar with your career. So there's also that really powerful support and exchange, which is just life changing. And I totally agree. Like, I get way more lit up with my group programs because and you know, a lot of people think they're like, I'm only going to get the most out of one-to-one, but as long as you're working with a coach that is being very integral with who they're allowing into the container and who they're choosing to come in, then you're going to benefit even more from a group experience, because you're bouncing off of other people's awareness and they're mirroring back to you things that you're like in my like mentorship right now, you know, when we go around talking, everyone's like, whoa, everything that everyone else has said here, I needed to hear today. You know, it's so powerful.
Yeah. And I feel, you know, if the, as you said, the container is intentionally created, we tend to attract inside of a specific container very similar souls that really resonate between each others.
Yes, exactly. And it's so funny, Juliet just
Hi,
joined.
Juliet.
Hi, we're just talking about you.
We were talking about you. We love you.
We just summoned you.
So I totally remember our, you know, call when you were, where you were in Capri, and I was in Saint Maxime, and you know, we talked about the mastermind, and you know, the fact that you had this, you know, huge successful launch, but you felt burnout. So what do you feel, you know, has shifted in these 6 months together in yourself, in your business, in your, you know, the way you show up, the way you run the business, your energetic frequency, and also, you know, the more tangible results that we all love to hear about?
Yeah, I think, you know, through a really bird's eye view lens, there's just so much more balance and, you know, healthy integration of like masculine and feminine polarity within my business. And also I just feel extremely, there's just so much more ease and grace. And it doesn't mean that it's always easy either, but it just feels so much more graceful. And, you know, even now I just relaunched The Birth of Venus and Hermes, and I have such a different perspective on launching that I used to, because and it's so natural because we're so conditioned through such a masculine lens of how we should run a business. It takes time to heal and be gentle. Like you know, the feminine, like gentle piece is like blowing my mind every day. How much expansion that brings to my business. And yeah, just being able to see that, you know, these pieces of like detaching time from money and, you know, really putting your trust into the fact that if I'm meant to be doing this and sharing this, only success is going to come from that. And it's just these subtle mindset shifts which lead to behavioral shifts that, yeah, I'm having so much more like easeful launches now, you know. And for example, the last launch of my mentorship, which was a 70K launch, that was the most abundant launch I've had, because it was so graceful, and it was just, you know, and I still had ego death. Like every time I launch a program, I have ego death that has to take place. Like I have to go and something needs to die. And I have to confront some shit, because it doesn't matter how many times you do something. I'm just going to tell everyone here, it doesn't matter where you're at in your business. These things, these thoughts of like, but am I going to make more money next month? And is anyone going to still join the next program? Like these little things, they can still exist. It doesn't matter where you're at and how long you've been hitting 100K month or like whatever. It's just learning to dance with these parts of self, you know, in a really integrated way. And the only way is through alchemizing the fear, you know? So yeah, for me, it feels so magical. So thank you.
And yes, because if I remember correctly, also when you joined, you had this big launch, like over 6 figures, and then you were like the second or you did the launch just after and it didn't really work because your nervous system, as you said, was not in alignment to, you know, calibrate to this level of attunement and holding of the money. So we also did in the
Absolutely.
mastermind a lot of nervous system work. We offer the ladies some one-on-one with Alicia, the nervous system specialist, and also, you got into all the different programs with AK. So what would you say about, the overall different element? Me as an MG, I put together all the things that helped me, and I'm like, here you have. And then what really speaks to your soul, then is gonna land more.
You mean from the mastermind itself? Yeah.
From the
Yeah.
groups, also the group programs and the work we did with Lisha, with Aki.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, definitely, I'm a Virgo, so I love when it comes to like refining and cleaning things, and that's my vibe. I'm not OCD or anything, but I like to keep the energy clean. And yeah, with Heike, that was the missing link for sure. Like learning about protection, energy clearing around my Instagram and really starting to work with the guides, that was a game changer for me because I'd been doing like I've got all like my strategy in place. I've been doing all the hypnosis reprogramming stuff, but this piece of the energetic piece of like now working in allyship with my guides and the cleansing and protection, that was next level for sure. That brings so much refinement also to my intuition. Um, and because I have like a bigger online following and I have just a big personality and I know that I can trigger people, I used to wake up some days with like anxiety in my stomach connected to my social media. And it's because I wasn't like protecting or clearing the energy properly. So that's really changed my life. And then also, I think just having the Voxer support was something that was really important for me because I'm, someone that when I have something come into my mind, it's great to just have somewhere that I can come and express and share that and then have your feedback. Like for me, that's one of the most valuable things. And if there's any advice that I can give anyone watching this, when you're working with a coach or a mentor, like it's also about you asking the right questions because you're a wealth of wisdom and knowledge, Elisa, but it's about making sure that we are asking you the right questions, right? Because it's a co-creation.
I
So
was
that's also
about to
something.
say exactly the same. It's like, Daisy, she found so much ease and grace, and effortlessness and success, but also because she's someone who leads herself in the process, and who comes into the Voxer, into the call with, a very clear intention, a very clear question, not like, oh my God, what do I do? Lie, it's like
Yeah.
very, very clear, very specific, so you can receive specific guidance. I always say, if you want to have better answers, start to ask better questions, because as you said, we all have so much wisdom and knowledge to share that, we could talk hours and hours and hours about everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I think it's just like maybe it's because I'm a 6-2 generator or a Virgo, but I'm definitely, when I come into these spaces, I really want to get the most out of it, not in like a scarcity way, but because I've done so many different programs and I am not the biggest fan of programs where it's too feminine, where like it's just all like you're kind of in this like vortex of like feeling, and I'm like, oh my God, I need some like mental structure right now. What? And that's why in my programs, I really try to also give that to people. And yeah, that's kind of how I work.
Yeah, I'm absolutely like you, I think when I've been in this super feminine, flowy, just, masturbating and manifesting, like, that's not really my
Yeah,
vibe. because
Yeah.
I think that where we truly find success, but not only success, as you said, is like prosperity that is about sustainability for me. It's like it's not
Yeah.
about doing this big money, these big launches, and then burning out, or resenting your business, not even wanting to launch again. I've had so many women
Yes.
coming to me with launch trauma. It's like I don't want
Yes.
to go through this trauma again because it's terrible. So
Yeah.
we want to create sustainability, and for me the way forward is really like having potent, simple, to the point strategy and structure that support the flow of the feminine.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And I really believe like once the strategy is in place, like you talk about, Elisa, it's like the strategy, the masculine piece, it's like 10%. The rest is then all, and that's I think why this work is so important, because the missing link that we have never been taught is that you can have all the strategy in place, but if your self-worth, if your self-confidence, if your belief system, if your mindset, if your energetic field is not supporting the strategy, you're not going to get anywhere. Or you might get somewhere and be completely burnt out, or you might get a little bit ahead, but having all those other elements in place, that's what takes you to this just like whole next level of wealth and abundance in life.
Yes. And I also want to point out that you have done all you have created in those months, like honoring your life, traveling, following your passions. I always look at you, where she is
Mm-hmm.
now, in Mexico, in San Diego, in New York, and I'm like, that's so amazing. With your dog, you go everywhere.
Yeah, I do exactly, and that's such an important piece, for me to share, as you also embody this so much. It's like, uh, my business and my work, it's not separate from my life. A lot of people live in this way where it's like, okay, now I need to check on, and it's like separate. It's like, no, my work is my play is my work. I only want to run a business that I feel lit up and excited by, and it doesn't feel like, oh, okay, and now I have to go to work. And realistically, yes, sometimes I feel that way. Sometimes you're going to have to feel that way, especially as we're building up the business. It takes time to get to a point where you just get to play in your zone of genius.
Mm-hmm.
But that's where we all want to aim for. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, to be clear, I saw this question popping up before, like Daisy was already making, very good money, and she had already, as she said, the strategy in place. So we can really, calibrate to this next level of feminine receiving when we have this foundation in place. And I think that sometimes the quote unquote trend or mistake we see in the industry is like, for people who want to go from 0 to 20K, 15K, is just working with the law of attraction, the feminine. But then we really need some hustle at the beginning. I hustle at the beginning of my business to actually build this structure, to actually learn a bunch of stuff that I didn't know. But then when we have this foundation in place, as you said, strategy is 10%, and 90% is energetics, healing, a lot of, we do a lot of past life healing, a lot of, energetic recoding activations, mindset, all the pieces needs to be in alignment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's, it's hard to put into words how, like I keep saying it's magical, and I feel like many people probably have no idea what I'm talking about, but it's like that's the only way I can describe it. It's just like when you start running a business in this way, it's synchronistic. It's and things happen so kismetly. Like when you commit yourself to running a business on sacred time and to running a conscious business, Again, it's like if you are not launching from an integral place, if you're not launching from a place where your mind, body, and soul are ready to go, but you're just mentally going, you're probably not going to have anyone sign up, or you're going to have the wrong clients sign up, you know? So it's just like, and now, you know, I attracting clients that I'm blown away, like in my mentorship by the caliber of clientele I'm working with and how much sense it makes that they are my clients right now. You know, like I see myself in them. I see myself in them, you know?
I love it. So during these 6 months, you relaunched the mentorship, and I think you raised the price to it, and it was like an incredible launch. Then what else did you launch with ease in this time?
Yes, so I think when we actually started back up together, I relaunched first The Birth of Venus and Hermes,
Yes.
Which is something I'm also launching right now. And that went really, really well. That was a great launch. And then and that was a really great launch because I remember I went to a festival and like literally that weekend, I wasn't promoting, I wasn't on my phone, and I had like 3 people sign up and pay in full for the program while I was like out dancing. Yeah, and that's what I teach, you know. I'm like, and that was great. And then the mentorship as well. And again, like Elisa, you know, such a big intention to be in this mastermind with you was really just so much permission around the like letting go and surrender and trust piece, and being led by a woman that embodies that so beautifully while also having the like no one's gonna fuck with me attitude, which I love. So that was medicinal. Yeah. Yeah.
And then you launched your a small offer that was super successful.
Yeah, exactly. I've been doing some master classes for a while, and then, you know, it's really funny, like things are so clean in my business now that when I'm not meant to be offering something, like nothing will come through. Like to the point that I have like a massive amount of clientele and following. And if I offer something that is out of alignment, I will either have like literally no one signed up or very few people. Versus if I offer something that's in alignment, like the Abundance Accelerator I just did, that was like unintentionally, you know, a 20K launch. And that was just for like a little masterclass offering thing that felt so aligned. So that was just like another beautiful cash injection that I had while I was in Mexico. And again, it's just when things are in alignment, it's like, wow.
Yeah. And also, sorry, like as you talk, like sacred time, you know?
Yes.
We have been so many business coaches like talk about, I remember, you know, I work with this business coach. She was like, okay, let's plan your calendar for 2021, you know, all super scheduled. Like me, especially manifesting generator, I'm like, what? But you know, that is not sacred time. This is ego time.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, so to make this amount of money, I need, and then it's all forced, and it's all like not respecting our natural cycles. And also, you know, we both work with our guides, and we, you know, with the divine. So it's like, what's the point to force something that's not ready?
Yeah. Absolutely. And I think, you know, it does depend on the individual's personality type as well, because like some people are, and you know, there's no judgment, but some people are not very self-starting. So, you know, sometimes it can be good. And I do think also on one hand, like I do like to have like a rough idea in my mind of like, okay, around like around this time of year, you know, okay, that's going to be like the next thing. But like you said, at the end of the day, if it comes to that point and you're not feeling fully aligned to launch, like, yeah, you need to go and like take a weekend to yourself to like process some shit.
Exactly. Or you know, or maybe you really feel like, oh no, this is meant to start in January instead of November, what I planned for, you know. And the
Yeah.
more we can
Mm-hmm.
trust that, the more we can surrender into that, the more alignment and abundance, comes through.
Big time. Yeah, it's mind blowing. It's mind blowing. That's all I can say. It's magical.
Magical. And so,
Yeah.
and what about like people always ask me, what do you do in this wealth coding? And
Oh, yeah, I love that.
how was
Sorry.
for you?
Yes, yeah. I love the wealth coding. That was awesome. That was probably my favorite part of actually the mastermind. I can't believe I forgot to mention that. I'm so sorry. But yeah, the
No,
wealth
no.
coding is amazing. I just felt, I mean, you're super psychic. Um, I even remember like one time I'd had a massive dinner and Elisa like messaged me after the wealth coding and she's like, so have you really been eating like good food for you today kind of thing? And I was like, what? I like just traveled back to Berlin and I was like, ah. You're like, I'm feeling like you might need to just like have some time off of caffeine and stuff for a bit. And I was like, okay. That was so funny. But yeah, the wealth coding, I just always felt really lit up and charged up after them. Like you going in and doing a clearing and a healing and putting in your wealth codes as to what I needed at that moment in time. That felt super like, I wish I could just have that every month.
And I remember when you got COVID, that we had the coding, and
Yes.
after you felt like, oh, wow, I can feel myself again.
Yeah, definitely. It helped to clear a lot of like the brain fog, which I think, is such a annoying thing with COVID. It like gives you so much brain fog. One of my clients has COVID right now, and she's like, oh, I feel like everything's stopping. And I'm like, trust me, COVID is fucking with your head. Like everything's good. COVID just tells you to like, yeah, so that helped a lot. I felt a lot more clarity afterwards.
Yeah, so part of the work I do, and it's so funny because all of my clients are like, the coding is the thing I love the most, because actually, you don't have to do anything. It's not conscious work. Of course,
Yeah.
it's not the only thing that moves the needle forward, but it's such powerful. Like I've channeled this technique by myself with my guides. I work with Archangel Michael, Raphael, Mary Magdalene, Jesus. So I really channel those, and every time I blow my own mind, I'm like, is this real? But every time it's like so on point, and every time then the clients like experience something incredible, like more clients, more flow, more money, more peace, healing, also body image, body parts, so it's so incredible.
It is. It's amazing. I love the wealth coding. Yeah, such a beautiful, unique element that you add to the mastermind.
So what would you say to someone who is like feeling into joining the Opulence Mastermind, and thinking about it? What would you say?
Yeah, I would just say that I would just say that you need to act from a place of making decisions for your future self and
Mm,
only, investing in something like the Opulence Mastermind, it can only bring you closer to where you want to be. And, you have to see it as like a true investment, like a lifelong investment in your future, because it's going to not just change the next, months of your life, but it's actually changing the rest of your life. It's like shifting fundamental things within your being and your business. And yeah, you just have to take that chance to invest. You will know when the time is right, but it's really life changing, and just really making the most of your time with Elisa as well, because Elisa is very, very knowledgeable and also a great anchor to step into your confidence and your self-worth.
Thank you. And I wanna take this moment to also inform the world that I love Daisy so much. And we are rebranding. We are doing a lot of different things and coming up with a new brand, a new name, and I've asked Daisy to become our official opulent femme astrologist. So she's gonna be, apart from opulence, I'm also launching another container called Queendom that is for 500K to millions and beyond. And it's much higher investment and much higher proximity with me. And Daisy will be also giving like an astrology reading to all of my one-on-one clients, to all of the Queendom clients. Of course, I'm gonna pay for it, her magic, and I'm so happy, for this collaboration, because my vision for the industry and the brand and in general is like really creating a space where we all share our gifts, where we all share our magic, where we all bring forth different elements, that really can support the client experience at the top, at the best,
Yeah, so amazing. Yeah. And I'm so grateful. I'm so excited. Thank you so much. And yeah, I just adore you so much as a human, as a mentor, as a sister, as a friend. I'm so excited for us to hang out in person and also for me to keep learning from you and being guided by you. So thank you so much. And yeah, anyone that gets to work with Elisa is incredibly lucky. And I just say go for it.
Thank you. So where people can know more about you, the offer you're launching right now is for...
Yeah, so of course you can just find me through my Instagram, which is Flowers for Days. And yeah, I'm currently launching, and we're already half full. I can't believe it. It just kind of happened like overnight. But we're half full for the Birth of Venus and Hermes, which is my new paradigm business program. It's like a 7-week program where I'm just taking all of these like old principles that you might have been taught in business and teaching them through my lens, through this like blended masculine and feminine lens, as well as the hypnosis and the mindset work and all of the elements that we've been talking about today, basically. So yeah, that's what I'm sharing right now. And I also just want to say, Lisa, like you're such a genuine and generous human being. Like you're just so kind and generous, and not just human being, high priestess. So I just want to thank you so much for that as well. Thank you for being such an incredible leader in the space.
Thank you so much. Thank you for this beautiful conversation. I hope everyone who joined was expanded to the possibility of what the future really holds. Whatever you are gonna invest with me, with Daisy, with someone else, is really the frequency from where you are stepping into a sacred space. That's so important. So if you want to know more about, opulence, Queendom, my one-on-one, send me a DM. Or if you want to know more about Daisy work, contact her, and you're going to be so taken care.
Aww. I love you, Elisa. You're the best.
I love you too.
Mwah. Giving you hugs.
Bye. Enjoy New York.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. Mwah.